Yeah.
Actually, no, I think my worst moment are the sensory ninjas that ran up on Jura and Hidari just to be cannon fodder and destroyed and turned into trees as an
Really?
example.
Can you
Because
elaborate on that?
yeah,
Yeah, please.
ideally,
Sorry.
if you think of the idea that sensory wise, you think that you Rogue Ninja Sasuke Uchiha is back, is what the sensory says from Hidari. You send
Okay.
five nobody ass ninja to go take down Sasuke to
It
go
was
even
12.
get in his way as if he wouldn't chop through them like raw sewage if you wanted to get through them to begin with. You don't call out any of the big guns or do any long distance surveillance immediately. You immediately run up on two shadowy figures, one of which you are assuming is Sasuke Uchiha, who has been a rogue ninja for 3 years, leaving with the person that you think murdered and destroyed Naruto, the Hokage, and his whole past, because it's not like Sasuke's past has ever been forgotten. And you think that you five random ass ninja are the ones to run up on these people and then make ultimatums and threats. Moments like that to just showcase somebody's power and ability. I I would rather it be showcased fighting a real threat or something like that than to be power scale that
Yeah.
you dropped. It's kind of like what they used to do with the goddamn Anbu back in Naruto that made me mad. The Anbu was supposed to be top tier ass Jonin, and they got their ass whooped on a regular basis whenever they showed up. They were just used to show how skilled somebody was how many Anbu they could take out at once. Kabuto was top tier because he dropped 4 or 5 Anbu in the medical hospital before Kakashi popped up. Cool, okay. Fuck were they here for in the first place then? What good were they to begin with? Because if
That's
these are
the
some
same
of
thing
the
they do with Konohamaru and Boruto.
yeah,
Yeah. You reminded me of something else though with this. I kind of forgot about this, but it doesn't make sense, bro. Okay, so these ninja look at Hidari and are just like, Sasuke, what are you doing here? So they clearly can't tell
I never
that
thought
he
about that.
doesn't look like Sasuke. Meanwhile, Sarada and Konohamaru are like, who are you? You don't look like Sasuke, so which is it?
That's so funny. I didn't think about that.
big
I
Oh
fact.
didn't
my
think about
god.
that you mentioned. It's
That
like,
makes
yeah,
sense.
how can they not
That
tell
makes
it's
sense.
clearly not Sasuke? Who's the dumb
10
one?
times worse, bro.
Only
Makes that
thing I can
10
think of
times
is that
worse.
is that maybe the other ninja just know of Sasuke off reputation or bingo book photo, so they don't know what he really looks like. Whereas Sarada would know
That could
exactly what his
work.
daddy looks like. It's kind of like seeing
Well, I'm
somebody's
questioning that.
photo ID from like, here's your driver's license from 3 years ago versus I know exactly what my dad looks like that I've been around before. That's the only way I can see that. But yeah, that's still a weird ass flex because I mean, popping up and be like, that's not my dad. Who are you? And
Well, I
everybody else like,
mean,
Yeah.
but that's Uchiha Sasuke. No, the fuck, it's not.
no, but even the random ninja know what Sasuke looks like. Like, Sasuke just sneaks up on them in chapter 61, and they're all like, Uchiha, what are you doing here? Like, they all know what he looks like. He doesn't have to introduce himself.
I mean, to a degree, it's kind of like seeing a photo of like Martin Luther King Jr. Like, cool, I saw the photo. If I ever see him in person, I'm gonna recognize him. But I can recognize a photo of him all the time. But if he came up to me in modern clothes, I would be lost. You got to imagine that almost all of the ninja of any rank know about Sasuke because of Naruto. Everybody knows that Sasuke just shows up and gets to do whatever he wants because he's Naruto's unofficial boyfriend. So he can come and go as he pleases to the village. He's the Shadow Hokage. He can come in and leave it whenever he wants and no questions are asked. And Ino lets people know that it's okay because that's the guy she wanted to be her baby daddy. So she took Sasuke light and was okay with that.
You know what?
But
Which
it doesn't
chapter
even
was
seem
it
like
that Shikamaru
I mean, it
talked to
seems like
Ino
they don't
first?
think that,
That
though.
was
It's
like
because when he starts doing that, they're like, hey, why are you here? You don't have permission. Like, who says you have the right to do this and that? They're looking down on this dude.
Oh yeah, because I mean that's because they're meant to be cannon fodder. So they're meant to say something stupid enough to get themselves beat up. Like when somebody sees the villain, they're like, "I'm gonna stop you," and runs at him like, "Okay, clearly you're about to get your ass handed to you." I don't know how the villain's about to do it. It's just like when you see like some random minion run up on the hero after he's beat like 3 or 4 different people. Like there's nothing good that's gonna come from you at this part. Probably 2 or 3 of those other guys were better than you. All you're about to do is get something broken in a very bad and painful way, and then you see it happen, and you're like, "That's what I expected. You were just here to show off how cool the hero could be. You weren't actually significant in any way other than being cannon fodder. Cool, you served your purpose. You five talked big talk and turned into the five served up, talked crazy, and got turned into trees instantly. You got off screen turned into trees. You weren't even worth an actual battle.
Nah, bro. So I was talking to Mello about this. You don't know Mello, but I doubt those Jonin did not deserve to die. They didn't say something stupid. They did not get in their way. Jura just killed them the first moment he could have, bro. Unlike everyone else for whatever reason.
Oh, I don't doubt it that they.
Unless something happened off screen.
They yelled out some type of challenge to them about, "Hey, who are you? Blah 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 blah." Dead.
That's not challenging.
Just to show, not something to say that they were going to be a challenge, but they spoke up as in some way to say we're in your way, and then Jura removed them instantly to show how powerful.
Yeah, look at all the other people in Jura's way who he didn't remove instantly. Like, those people did not deserve that compared to everyone else that Jura interacted with.
Exactly, which is the thing.
Just showing Jura's evil.
Just to show that the villain can do villainously things and they have a power scale to be able to take out multiple ninja at once instantly. Cool. I assume that already since he's a goddamn Ten Tails. He could probably burp and blow up half of the city. It's fine.
Well, to be honest,
the same thing they did
this is probably the
with
most out of character scene of Jura.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's always the respectful one. He's like, yo, you're not my target. I don't have business with you. Like, just let me do my thing.
See, that's the difference, though. Ishiki did the scene right. When he invaded the village, he's being polite, and the others are actively getting in his way, throwing shuriken at him and stuff. And so, yeah, they did get their comeuppance. These guys just came to them and just on the rooftop were like, hey, stop, Sasuke. And they just died. That's it.
Yeah, so it depends on whether it was just off-screen, in which case I'm still going to criticize it for making it off-screen. But if it was just like the Ishiki thing where they started attacking him, then fine. But they should have shown us that, because that does have an indication of what the character's like. So I do think that is something that should be shown, if that's what you're going for. Because this implies Jura will eliminate anyone who remotely gets in his way. But we know that's not true based off what we see in the next several chapters. So why did he do it here?
Yeah. I think the implication is also...
important to show that.
I think the point's also to show how effortlessly he's able to do it. He just, waves his hand. Not even. He keeps his hand in his pockets. He just looks at them, and they're all instantaneously dead. That's not necessarily a power thing. That just shows how effortlessly he can do tremendous things, and even how much he looks down on inferior creatures, if you want to go with that terminology.
Yeah, I thought
he's looking at them almost as ants.
Just a power scaling thing that they weren't worth actually even drawing to show getting beat up, because it wasn't even a panel. It was they were there and then they were not in the way anymore, and he went about his business. Everybody
that's it as well, because
a bit of a fight.
In that regard, it's doing the same thing as 10-10 versus Tamari from the tuning exams. In the manga, it's literally off panel. It just happens off screen. But that's to imply something there, which is the same thing the Jura thing is doing. So yeah, in the terms of that, the power scaling is absolutely there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting.
Do that very quickly, like the Ishiki scene. Like, the Ishiki scene very clearly implies he's way stronger than them when he just bodies them instantly after asking politely.
Yeah, I think it was just the type of thing where they didn't want to waste time even drawing that with the other parts of it, because it was going to be an insignificant moment. It might have been a panel, but it would have been a panel they would have had to take time to draw out whatever happened. When you get that same type of visual from seeing what happened afterwards. And eventually Jura might even mention or talk about what happened, but even if he doesn't ever mention it, we basically get the idea without having to see it or them spending the time on doing it, that he instantly destroyed them. Because if you then draw him doing it, you then have still the panel of him showing the aftermath to other people who saw it. So it's kind of the same panel twice, which isn't necessary.
But then we're getting to the formatting of the manga, of which my counter to that would be, well, they're already wasting panel space as it is, or not doing enough with the chapters, not implementing enough on every page, etc., etc. And to be fair, yeah, they're struggling as like the mangaka to get it out monthly. It's a very difficult, tremendous task to accomplish what they're doing every month as it is. But compared to Naruto or just other manga in general, I think they could do more, or that they have a lot of wasted potential when they don't need to be. And it's not the argument of, oh, it's monthly or, oh, it's only 40 pages, because it's what they do with those pages or how much they put into each page. Just a simple panel is all they really need. It's not like ruining the pacing or anything. It'd be the same pacing. You just do more with the pacing. So technically it's faster pacing. It'd be the same pacing.
Definitely would be a whole different way to go about it.
Yeah. I mean, they would only really need the 1 or 2 panels, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, all you need is Jura saying like, "Where's Naruto Uzumaki?" or something, or have them like get up in his face and he just like catches their leg and kills them or something when they just show them attack him basically. Pretty minimal.
Show what they showed for Enogene. Just the single panel of them doing the thing. That's all you really need. Everything more is more and better, but yeah. I find it really interesting that you're using this scene in particular, because we agree, and like everyone that's come on the podcast has also agreed about this scene and the reasons you listed, but I think the truth behind it is more so the wasted potential rather than the potential itself, that being the legacy characters that they could have used in this scene. Like, hypothetically, if they're not going to use Kiba ever again, have Kiba among the shinobi, and then have Kiba die to Jura at this moment. That does tell us something. And that does get us emotionally involved.
As Jura's a villain, because Jura has killed a legacy character, and it makes him look even stronger, because he killed these really strong, old generation characters.
Yeah, so it fixes both. I think that's really where the complaint stems from, but I think it's like both ends of it, so I can't just list one end without the other. It's like the yin and the yang.
I would say definitely is a different way to go about it, and I think that you could have done some of those things in there to make it something. Somebody like Kiba, who should be on like the perimeter patrol sensory forces, being able to get there with, but then you have him also killing Akamaru if you take out Kiba, which then many people lose their minds, because if you kill any pets...
Well, Akamaru could just dodge, I don't know.
True.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, why not kill Tamaki, Kiba's girlfriend? I mean, you gotta kill Kiba's mom as well!
But then you have it that either you kill Akamaru, which makes it look sad and depressing for most people, because killing animals just hurts their soul, or Akamaru does get why Kiba's dead, and now Akamaru is sad and mourning his master.
Okay, how about this? We just don't do Kiba. Let's just do Choji.
So Chocho can lose her mind that her father's dead?
Good. Now Chocho
the one
progress as a character.
Naruto guided who doesn't care.
I was going to say...
Who sees Naruto as her dad?
I was going to say she would like that, but whole part of that is her learning to actually respect and love her dad for being the Choji guy that we know. Kind of way Choji always kind of thought his dad was kind of until he saw his dad really pop off and was like, oh, we really like that. We can do things. Like son, you can be a giant. I don't know why you didn't think you
Maybe
were cool.
In depth she can learn.
No, I was just kidding. But yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't actually be too opposed to that, though. I think personally that having Kiba and Akamaru die would be a very touching thing, or have the other 4 dead and have Kiba sitting there bruised and bloodied up and have Jura kind of look down at him and walk off, which would then leave credence to him leaving Boruto alive later on.
You could do Shino, but then his insects would be sad.
Yeah, I mean, if you did it for Shino, though, Shino is supposed to be, I mean, in my comparison, Shino is heads and tails above Kiba as a Jonin and a ninja. Not that he would be able to do anything to Jura either, but it would just seem... Plus, it wouldn't seem like he would normally be there. Kiba makes sense kind of being there, but it would be like if Ino was out there on the edge of the village. That would be odd, because that's not where she normally would be. Or Sakura, she could be there, but that would be odd. I could see Kiba being there, somebody else sensory-wise, like...
Yeah.
Basically, the people that were that in the anime fight Ishiki, like, Choji, Kiba, whatever, they could be sent on the front lines, but like, no, Ino's gonna be in the center village, Sakura's gonna be in the center village, and so on. Shikamaru as well. Yeah. They're not gonna be out there.
To be fair, we can do Kiba, and we can kill Kiba without killing Akamaru, because from the story perspective, is it actually a bad idea to have Akamaru be sad? The anime added in the fact that Mujino has a turtle for this exact reason. We hate the fact that Mujino died because of this. And so I think
that could be a reason to hate Jura, which you want to be like mad at the villain. You can be mad like, yo, not only did you kill Kiba, you left Akamaru lonely. Like, and then until we start to learn Jura, it gets you to like hate him as a villain. You want him to fail versus like me and Oodie goofily want Jura to succeed because we like him so much.
I was going to say, it's nothing wrong with liking the villain, but I don't have a problem with actually Akamaru and Kiba dying. I think that would have been a very well part, or them dying out, or nearly dying and have Sakura save him or whatever. But I have zero... I would say this, when it comes to a story, this is the D&D Dungeon Master in me, there's no such thing as a safe character. If the story calls for your death, which is probably why I need to finish writing the stories I've been, if the story calls for your death, that character dies. You want to be sad about it? You hate the book? Cool. Whatever. Don't read past that point then. But the story is the story that I'm creating. Either you go along for the ride or you get off where you can't continue anymore. No such thing as a character should be safe for plot or people will be sad about it. I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan, and one of the things I hated was Sir Arthur Conan Doyle bringing him back after Professor Moriarty kills him, in theory, by knocking him over the falls into this terrible thing like Niagara Falls and all this stuff. But there was such public outrage over the idea of Sherlock dying that he found a way to bring the character back. And I was like, no. He dies. He dies here. That's the death. That's the death that he earned. Him and his villain, who he couldn't beat, take each other out mutually because there was no other way for the other one to win. I'm okay with that. Great story. Kills the Lord of Crime. Greatest detective gone. Beautiful way to end it. We don't need to add any more to it. And
the Boruto staff, when Boruto first came out, they were hyping it up. Yeah, anyone can die. And you get the flash forward scene, Naruto's dead. And lo and behold, you get Baryon mode, kill Naruto, kill Kurama. If anything, they've brought more characters back than killed them. Okay, I'm not going to count Mujino, because he's an arc-only character who is fodder who happened to get a name. And they bring back everyone they kill, and they even brought back Jiraiya. Have they ever killed anyone?
So I'll say two things, but the first, I guess, the lay of land here, in light of these recent Kishimoto interviews, it seems like Ikimoto's the reason why these characters aren't dying. He's the one convincing Kishimoto not to kill certain people in his draft. He's changing it so Code and some unspecified, even more important character weren't killed when, or at least in the other character, they haven't been killed yet, and that's because of Ikimoto. But honestly, Ikimoto, I don't know if he's just afraid to, like, use the old gen, because on one hand, he probably just doesn't want to kill them, because maybe he feels it's disrespectful to Kishimoto's work, maybe he's worried about fan outrage, whatever it is. It seems like he's just afraid to kill them, but he understands that he can't have them in the story because they're just gonna get in the way of they're gonna make things too problematic if he puts them in the story without killing them, so he just doesn't write them, period. And I get it, but it's like, honestly, bro, I feel like you gotta either kill them or write them out on some easy to write in mission. Shikamaru says, oh no, if only all their best old gen shinobi weren't on that mission looking for Boruto right now. It actually works perfect, given that Shikamaru's literally on Boruto's side. He could purposefully send them out there when Boruto's in the village. He has the information to do this, by the way. So he literally could intentionally, intelligently do that. You've written them out of the story, and they don't have to die now. It's not that hard.
I mean, I would
even Boruto, the main character, was only dead for half a chapter in the code arc.
I would say I'll give it to. I would say he can hold on to the characters if he intends to have a spot where they start dying rapidly later. Then I'll let it go. But I was gonna say, at some point you gotta let your old toys go. And if you have this type of level of power scaling, death should be an eventuality for some of these characters because the old guard doesn't match up to the new generation's power that they're batching out to. So at some point, it's got to go down.
I mean, honestly, though, to some extent, it feels like it's too late. Like, the fact that no one dies. Okay, Momoshiki arc is very understandable. They were very well equipped to do what they need to do at the arena. Momoshiki and Kinshiki are literally just going after Naruto anyway, so that one makes sense. No problems there. Ishiki, though, it's like, why aren't they there to protect them? They're not there in the manga. Okay, in the anime, they're there, and they get fodderized and just don't die somehow. What? The worst fight ever, but whatever. But that, like, in the manga, it's like, okay, why aren't they there fighting Ishiki? Why aren't they there looking for Kawaki / Boruto? Why aren't they there fighting the Claw Grime? Why aren't they there fighting the Shinju? What are they doing? You're making it look stupid. Like, why are they there?
Even in the Momoshiki arc, the midpoint is Naruto sacrificing himself to save his son in the village. Especially in the movie, you're like, oh my god, did they just kill Naruto? Like, Boruto's sad about it, everyone's sad about it for 20 minutes until they realize they can go to save him. But, like, the point is, like, focusing on Naruto's dead, basically. In the Ishiki arc, they're all talking about how ready and convicted they are to die as a shinobi, Boruto especially, with Sasuke. They has that whole conversation before going to confront Ishiki, and then they're like, oh, you can't kill me, and then Boruto's offering to sacrifice himself to take down Ishiki, and then with Momoshiki around, especially in the Code Arc, and the pills, they're all ready for Boruto to die. Boruto even sacrifices himself in the middle of the Code Arc. It's like so many characters that you're just talking about death. Then with Kawaki, oh, shinobis are those who are destined to die. He's talking about that to Sarada and Boruto in the Prophecy arc. Where's that coming from? You haven't killed anyone. The fact that Code is apparently so much stronger, he's gonna kill Naruto or Sasuke. Why is Naruto in Daikoku-ten? Why is Sasuke a tree? Kill them.
Yeah, or like, I mean, honestly though, the old gen is perfect for Kawaki's philosophy because that's like, yeah, these people did die versus Ishiki. Maybe you kill a few in the Ishiki arc, and then you kill a few in the this Shinju arc or whatever. You do it progressively, a couple at a time. Now, I will say, if you're gonna do that, for the sake of the legacy of these characters, I do think they should be, written. They shouldn't, like, you should not just have Kiba. You just draw Kiba in place of one of those guys in Chapter 8 of Two Blue Vortex. Don't just draw him there instead and have him die and that's it. Like, you gotta write this scene. Like, it's gotta be, you're introducing these Two Blue Vortex only fans to Kiba, you're making them care a little bit, and then when he dies, you're adding the impact, the reactions. You gotta write this in. Like, actually do it. You can't just draw him the same as the fodder characters. But I do think they should be doing this, because it's gonna add layers to literally everything you just said, Oodie.
I mean, I literally would have left him in there as a cameo for old OG fans to remember, because most people aren't starting with Two Blue Vortex, but even if they are, they see this character that clearly looks different than the rest die. That might spark their interest to go back and find out who the hell that is.
Ooh, that's a good point. I like that.
It's one of those things that if you know, and if you don't, like, that dude with the dog got parked out and somebody like, you knew that's Kiba. Kiba died. How dare you? And it's like, oh, clearly I don't know who Kiba is. This person has a name and a history. And Akamaru, you bastard. Like, oh, okay, well, clearly I'm the one who is ill with my knowledge. I'm the ignorant one. Let me go find out. And then you can go see about Kiba when he had his glory moment as a child.
So I definitely like that idea, but if you're going to do it, I still think you need to have the moment with Kiba be something. You can't just off-screen kill him, because that's going to... People are not going to like that.
I mean, I can see that being tough, but let's be honest. If there was anybody out of, like, the Genin 12 that died off-screen, Kiva's kind of high up on the list of people that I'd be like,
I would hate it, though. Yeah. Just saying.
I mean,
even if he's high up on that list.
I wouldn't be against it, but we're not going to pretend like Kiba was important at all through all of Boruto. And probably
we got to respect his legacy. He's a legacy character.
Yeah. His respect was trying to retrieve Sasuke 20 years ago.
And I respect that.
What I'm saying is more so like, like you know, like some of these half chapter fights that they've been doing over and over again. Give them that, like, let's say Jura one shots the other ones, then there's that one ninja happens to be Kiba.
yeah.
Then you give him that half chapter fight where he's actually putting up a fight, but Jura's obviously
Like
stronger
it.
than Jura kills him. You just gotta give him like a little bit of special treatment.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll give him the chance to pull out his special move and have Jura stop that shit dead. There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. You go all full out, triple dog, shadow clone, do your whole spinning tornado, and then get shish kebab by this tree. And have Jura just kind of look at him as he's sitting there
That's funny.
dying like, okay, anyway. And just keep
I mean,
going.
in all honesty, though, I really think the time to do this would have been the Ishiki arc. And the reason why
yeah.
is they're obviously not going to give them like a whole spotlight like they did in the Sasuke retrieval arc, for example. They're not going to do that for Kiba now. So if you're going to do it, it would have been better to do it earlier. Like, if the Momoshiki arc could have worked as well, you want to do it as close to Naruto as possible, really. Because now you're so far removed, it's nobody cares about Kiba anymore. And it just loses the impact, and it's only going to make fans mad unless they focus on it, which they're not going to do. So it's kind of like the time to do it would have been the Ishiki
I
arc.
don't think you
That's
gotta
would have been the
focus on
most
a
satisfying.
character to make it impactful or special, because Kiba's not meant to be impactful or special in that way yet. And it's not, and again, because he's a Naruto character. This is Boruto. The story isn't about him. Adults died in Naruto that you're like, okay, that's sad.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like from the fan reception angle. Like if they don't make it somewhat special, people are gonna hate it. Like,
No, but even more than that, it works especially for the Ishiki arc because of the theme of sacrifice or the willingness to go fight to your death as a shinobi. This paves the way for Kawaki's whole thing anyways.
Exactly.
But this ties into Boruto and Sasuke's conversation as well as Baryon mode as a concept. Naruto's willing to die just like his friends, Konoha 12, who just died against Ishiki. That works so well together.
it also could be interesting if Boruto sees their dead bodies. It'd be like, oh man, Kiba, oh man, Choji, whoever else. And
Well, I would like for
Boruto just-
Naruto to have seen them just
Well, they
for
can both see
the
it.
tie into Baryon mode. That's fine, yeah. But I'm thinking like not for like Naruto's painful reaction, but I'm thinking more of like a pain arc reaction of him reacting to like Kakashi's death almost.
Yeah,
Where he's
exactly.
gonna do what needs to be done.
Yeah, what I was saying though is that Boruto has to see, like, and Naruto, they both see it, and they're gonna both have the resolve to do the same. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah,
But
but
Boruto
I mean
tries to do
Boruto's
it.
not gonna care about old man Kiba as much as Naruto would. But
Well, yes, but like he'll still care.
I think more importantly is Kawaki seeing it.
Yeah, they should all see it. Well, granted, Kawaki's
Yeah.
the one person who wouldn't see it; he would just hear about it.
If anything, maybe Naruto's about to have emotional reaction, but then Sasuke, through his conviction after talking to Boruto, he's the one that's continuing forwards. Similarly to the war arc, to where Jubito's like convincing Naruto to just lay down in despair, and then Sasuke's like, I'm going ahead, Naruto, continue on with me or whatever. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
like
about?
you could have Sasuke be like, whatever, you bumbling fool, like you idiot. Like he makes like a joke comment that kind of snaps Naruto out of it or something.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe something like that. Like,
Either way,
Naruto, we have to do
um,
this. Yeah,
Yeah, and the point is, the time to do it would have been the Ishiki arc. And
Oh,
now
I
that
know.
they
I got
haven't done it then, it's kind of like, okay, should they even do it at all anymore? I don't know. Like,
I got
just think
something
they
that
should
could
just
work.
write them out.
This parallels to when Shikamaru is telling Naruto about Kawaki in code right after Boruto dies. He can say, if not verbatim, the exact same thing, something extremely reminiscent to show Naruto's reaction to his friends dying, as opposed to the vulnerability, the further level beyond of his own son dying in his arms. Because in one case he snaps out of it, and the other he doesn't, or can't.
Yeah.
Shows the weight and significance behind Boruto and what that means to Naruto, even more than his friends.
Yeah. It would have worked.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Last thing I'll say on this would be the villains. I'm not necessarily saying this is a bad thing, but just adding to this, like, half of the villains die, half of them don't. You get Mujino, who doesn't die. Then you get Delta, who has 3 more bodies. And again, I love that scene. I think that's really cool. But like, they didn't do anything with that.
Wait, hold on.
Not Mujino. I'm doing the thing with the Mujina bandits hearts. I meant Shoujoji. God dang it.
Okay.
I do this every time. At this point, you should be used to it.
No, but it wasn't ready.
Okay, well, and then Ao dies as a sacrifice, then Koji doesn't die. I think of all the characters, you could have Koji be the one to die if you just rewrite it. Maybe have Ada, Delta, and a third cyborg who was frozen and got unfrozen at this time, and that's the one helping Boruto at this time. But if you just rewrite it, you could have had Koji die. I'm not saying you should have, but you could have.
Well, honestly, Kishimoto probably originally had, like, Koji and Delta live, Boro and Code die.
That's fair. You have you do have Boro die just to show off Momoshiki, which is cool. I'm glad they did that. You have Ao die as a sacrifice to save Boruto when Koji comes and kills him. I think that's cool as well. I like that. Again, I think Delta you could have left dead. I'm not saying you should have, but it's not that she was meaningless, because I love the fact that Amado deactivated her when she was about to fight Koji. I think that's a cool scene that justifies bringing her back. But then it is weird again how they are just going to bring her back anyways when Amado just rebuilds another one inside the Konoha. So
yeah, but I guess, like, plot wise, like, I guess you could just say Amado just doesn't make a new Delta. Well, I guess Delta coming back, though, is what informed everyone of Boruto having karma, which I guess is kind of important, because how else is that honestly going to happen? Like, how is Jigen, Amado, everyone just going to know about Boruto having karma?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
You know, like, so that's kind of. I guess you could just write and then for I guess maybe Code spying and sees it or something. I don't know. But then why doesn't Code just fight Naruto? Because he wants to fight him anyway. So
yeah, Code continues to live, as we know, and then the Shinju, when they kill one through Hidari, they just bring him back. Which again, I'm glad they did, but like, I'm afraid that they're gonna keep doing that maybe more than they should. But we'll see in the future, I guess.
Okay, honestly though, yeah, I mean, fake out deaths is not foreign to Boruto, to say the least. I mean, like, come on, bro. Naruto in the first arc. I guess Momoshiki in a sense. I don't know if I want to count that one, but kind of, yeah. Like, you think he's got the karma seal. Then you've got is Delta next, I guess? Delta, yeah, fake out death. Oh no, she's actually alive. And then
for the interrogation, or he kills himself to avoid interrogating further.
Wait, who? What?
Shoujoji.
Shoujoji doesn't kill himself. What are you talking about? Wait, what?
No, I'm saying you could have.
Oh yeah, you could have, but no, I was just trying to think of all the fake out deaths. I was just going through all of them.
Okay.
Who else? Well, there's Boruto.
Oji.
That Inoji. Hidari. Like, I don't know. There's been a lot of fake out deaths in Boruto.
Yeah.
But anyway.